Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Last time we talked about character analysis of Rikki, tikki, tavi, and we unscrambled the words which we had that we had scrambled, and we completed this crossword puzzle. And now today we are going to talk about verbs. Okay, verbs tell us what someone is doing. Okay, whatever you do, whether you play, whether you laugh, whether you eat, drink, run, or you sit, you stand, you cry, that's called a verb. An action, when someone is doing something, when you act this when something is done by someone, that's called a verb. It's an action performed by a noun, or performed by anything, or performed by any animal. Okay, so verb is an action that's performed by any animal, any person, or anything. Okay, the train is running, this is verb. Train is noun and running is verb. Okay, Rikki, tikki, tavi looked down. So looked, here is the word looked is highlighted, and this is verb. Looked, action, dekhna, to do something. Okay, he climbed down to the floor. Climbed, utarna, niche utarna, action. Okay, but sometimes we need the help of some special verbs to show the time of the action, or ask a question, or form a negative sentence. But sometimes we need a help of some special words. What are those special words? We will come to know. To show the time of the action, when is action being done? Okay, to ask a question or form a negative sentence. So let's read this sentence. If Teddy doesn't pick him up by the tail, he will run in and out of the house. In these sentences, other than the main verbs pick and run, verbs such as does and will also have been used. For example, pick here is action. It's a verb. Run is an action. It's a verb. But some words have been added. For example, does, doesn't, and will. So they have also been used. These are special words, okay, that show the time of action, or that form a negative sentence. For example, if Teddy doesn't pick him up by the tail, this is negative sentence, doesn't. Okay, so whenever you find not in any sentence, this is not good. My pants are not short, this is negative sentence. Okay, and whenever there is not in any sentence, it becomes a negative sentence. So here, doesn't is a special word that has been used in this sentence to form a negative sentence. Okay, this special word doesn't has been used here to form a negative sentence. He will run in and out of the house. So run is a verb, and will is a special word that has been used here for showing the time of an action. Will means the action will take place in future. Okay, in these sentences, other than the so second will run, it shows the time of the action. In these sentences, other than main verbs pick and run, verbs such as does and will also have been used. These special words are called helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. Now let's learn about some helping verbs. So these special words, does, will, they are called helping verbs, or they are called auxiliary verbs. Now let's learn about some helping verbs. The most important helping verbs are be, do, and have. So these are the most important helping verbs. Sometimes they can be used as main verbs as well. So they are helping verbs, but sometimes in some cases they can be used as main verbs as well. Let's see some of the examples. Will is another helping verb that's used to talk about the future. As I have already told you, that will is another helping verb which is used to talk about the future, an action that will take place in the future. When be is used as an auxiliary verb, it supports the main verb. For example, Teddy is playing with Rikki, tikki, tavi. Is Teddy sleeping now? So when be is used as an auxiliary verb, as an helping verb, it supports the main verb. For example, is the form of be, okay? Is the form of be. So Teddy is playing. So be here, be is used as an auxiliary verb and it supports the main verb, that's playing. So how is the form of be? You will learn this in future. For a time being, make it this. Remember that is the form of be is the form of is, or is the form of be. It supports the main verb. Main verb here is playing and sleeping. It supports the main verb. For example, Teddy is playing with Rikki, tikki, tavi. Is Teddy sleeping now? The forms for do are do, does and did. When used as a main verb, it shows the act of doing something. The forms for do are do, does and did. So what are the forms of do? The forms of do are do, did and does. And when they are used as main verbs, it shows the act of doing something. It's a main verb as well, auxiliary verb as well. But when it's used as a main verb, I told you these auxiliary verbs are used as main verbs as well. So it shows the act of doing something. For example, mother does her chores herself. As an auxiliary verb, do, does and did support the main verb in making negative sentences and questions. If do, does and did is used as an auxiliary verb, they support the main verb by making questions or negative sentences. For example, do you know Teddy? This is a question. Rikki, tikki, tavi did not do this. So whenever there is not in the sentence, remember that it's called a negative sentence. So whenever an auxiliary verb do, did or does supports the main verb, it helps us in making negative sentences and questions. Have is used as both helping verb and main verb. I think we will stop here because the video will get too long then. It's not possible to download then, upload then. We will stop here. Tomorrow we will continue this again. Till then, stay at home, stay safe, take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.